but just this moment, I'm really struggling with it. I desire my entire life to be. Hi guys, welcome back to, I almost called it Courageously Kendra because that was my first page. Welcome back to Breaking the Curse with Kendra. Sorry I've been MIA. It's actually what this video is about. Just kind of telling you where I've been. I'm just gonna tell you, depression is real, anxiety is real, suicidal thoughts are real, life is real, and life is hard, especially when you are working so hard towards breaking generational curses. So I'm just gonna be real and honest. So for the month of March, there was the finance videos, or was it February? Well, I did the finance videos, and those were all pretty much filmed within the same day. And then I just fell downward into a downward spiral of my depression and my anxiety, and just really grabbed hold of that. And honestly, that is why I started this YouTube channel, was because I wanted to talk about the side that people don't normally talk about when it comes to breaking generational curses. We don't talk about the sleepless nights and the crying fits and this, that, and the third. And so that's that is why I started this channel. And so I could feel it. I knew I was going into a depressive episode. And if you have depression or anxiety, you kind of know when it's coming. And mine just so happened to happen. Yeah, I can pinpoint it, but I'm not gonna blame it on anyone but myself. But there was a certain situation that happened, and I just kind of lost it. And from there, just a lot of why me, why now, why am I even here? Being a believer, why, God, these are things that I've been asking for all my life. Why can't I have them? Why? Why is it not my time? Why is this person pregnant and I'm not pregnant? Why is this person engaged and I'm not engaged? Why is this person married and I'm not married? Why do I have to break generational curses? Although I know deep down the answers, I just went into this episode. And for me, okay, so one thing about me, I'm not a crier. You will rarely see me cry. I don't cry happy tears. I don't cry sad tears. Normally, if somebody's crying around me, I tend to start laughing. Really bad habit. I try to keep it together. I do well for the most part, but just episodes of me crying, episodes of me driving and throwing up, also not something that I normally do. I also got sick during this time. I got the stomach bug, but I'm just going to insert a clip of one of my episodes. Enjoy. Hey, just having a moment, but I thought I should film it because, hey, it doesn't happen very often, but me crying doesn't happen very often. Just having one of those moments where I'm just like, why me? Why am I so alone? Why do I feel so alone? I think it has a lot to do with my period. It's not here yet, but I know it's coming. And when I have moments like this, it takes me to a place of the fact that I want to break the generational curse and wait until marriage to have kids. Or I want to get married. That's not something that is common amongst Black culture. That is not something that
I mean, although my grandma's been married, she's not married now. The only one of my aunts that is married is, there's there's two out of the five. You know what? I'm just having one of those moments where I'm just like, why do I have to choose? Why do I have to? Why do I have to break this curse? And I know it's for good reason, and in the end it's gonna be alright, but just this moment I'm really struggling with it. I've had a desire my entire life to be a mom and to be a wife, and here I am, 27, going to be 28 in July, and I feel like I don't have anything to show for it. I have a job that I love. I have my bachelor's. I'm working on my master's. But the number one calling, or the two top callings I feel I have in my life, just haven't happened yet, which are being a wife and being a mom. So I'm just having one of those moments. It's a rarity, but I figured I'd just film it because it doesn't come around very often. But these moments are the reason that I started my YouTube channel, to show you guys that it's not always rainbows and butterflies when it comes to breaking the curse. That there are times you just sit and you struggle because you want to break the curse, but it eats at you. It eats at you. That's all I've desired, is to be a wife and a mom. And it's the one thing I don't have, because I want to break the curse of kids having their dads, moms being single moms, and the struggle.
So that happened. And those are real candid thoughts that go through my head on a daily basis. Just sometimes they were just so bad, or to the point that I don't want to be here. Now, am I good now? Yes. Doing good now. But it was to the point where I probably should have committed myself, to be honest. As I lay in bed in the dark, because I know if I get up, I'll grab a knife to cut, or I'll go in my medicine cabinet and try to take pills. Or I'm sitting at work and I'm writing goodbye letters to people as I'm dealing with behaviors. I'm writing goodbye letters and how much I can't do this anymore. Holding back tears, which also I don't do, as I keep saying. At that point, it's like I probably should commit myself, but I didn't. Honestly, what stopped me is other people. And what I mean by that is, it's not that I want to be here, it's that how other people will deal with me being gone. Like, for instance, work. Who's gonna fill my position? Who's gonna be there for these kids? I've been a consistent, so who's gonna be there for them? Once again, looking outward at other people instead of myself, which is a big habit of mine, but has saved me a lot in my suicide attempts and whatnot. But just the thought process of, how is my boss gonna do it? Like, I interact with the entire school. How is it gonna affect each and every student, each and every teacher, each and every parent that I talk to? Same thing with at church. How does that affect each and every child that I work with, each and every adult that I work with at church or talk to at church? How does that affect my cousins who are younger than me, how will that affect them? How will it affect my niece? How will it affect my mom? Honestly, has nothing to do with me. And what I mean by that, I don't want to be here for me. I think I'm finding that I'm living my life for other people, and that's really hard. Really hard to say, but really hard to deal with also. And one of the big things for me is I posted a video on TikTok, which I'll insert here.
If I ever lose my battle to depression, know that I fought. Know that I tried. Know I did my best to overcome.
So you watched that video. I posted that video, and I seemingly forgot that I had some kids from church that follow me. And I have some students that follow me. And it's not a horrible video. It just obviously talks about if I ever lose my fight to depression, please know that I tried. But the fact that I was told through the grapevine that my kids saw this and were concerned, just broke my heart. And I immediately deleted the video, and made my TikToks private, and whatnot. And it was just like, okay, like, these 4th and 5th graders are seeing it and reaching out and see that I'm struggling. Why am I hiding this? Like, I need to do something about this. And so when I do go through my manic depressive episodes, I shut everyone out. I stopped answering phone calls. I stopped answering text messages. I stopped responding to messages. My smile is non-existent, which, if you know me, to know me is to know that I always have a smile on my face. So that was really tough. And so I talked to my iron. Shout out to my iron, Alyssa, Mrs. Alyssa. Alyssa Stratton, shout out to her. She had her ceremony this past weekend, well, 2 weekends ago. She just had her ceremony for her wedding. Love her, love you. Shout out to my iron, but I reached out to her because she could tell, and that's why it's so important to have an iron, or and that reference comes from in the scriptures. It talks about iron sharpens iron. And so she's my iron. We call each other out, we call each other up on pretty much anything and everything, and she has the right to give it to me straight 100% of the time, and I give it to her straight 100% of the time, but obviously I have to do it a little bit differently than she does it, because I'm a 6 and she's a 2, or because we're 2 different people. Anyway, love you. But I was talking to her, and actually my old discipler, Diane, and Alyssa had told me before I needed to get into counseling, and I was like, no, that's not for me. It's never been for me. I've tried it, and it just doesn't work. Financially, I can't afford it. Every excuse in the book. Every freaking excuse. I can't afford it. But yet, I have my brand new car. I have to buy a new wardrobe. Like, not that I'm like rolling in the dough, but if I finesse my finances enough, I can afford to go to counseling. So they had just kind of been pushing me to do it, and I put it off. But the simple fact that I probably should have been committed, just for my own safety, was just like a very big eye-opener for me, because I haven't had one of these episodes in a while. Granted, there was a little bit of backstory that I won't share on YouTube, of some other things going on that I also was dealing with, but all that to say, Alyssa was like, I have a counselor, she's great, I think you should go see her. And I was like, okay, send me her information. Me being me, knowing that there is a huge potential, I'm not gonna call this lady, like, I'm not gonna go. I apparently have that tendency of hearing you and saying I'm gonna do something, and then I do what I want either way. But this time I was like, no, like I have to do it, and I kept pushing it out and pushing it out and pushing it out. Excuse me. So I finally texted her. I didn't want to talk on the phone. It was one thing, I didn't want to talk on the phone, and so I texted her, and we set up a time to meet. I met with her last Saturday, and she was just a really cool person to just sit there and talk. And she called out some things, and it was great. But that's the dark side of breaking generational curses, is simply that sometimes we struggle and we don't share. And I guess I challenge people that are out there trying to break curses, generational curses, to share your struggles. And that's the only reason why I'm sharing this video. Not because I want sympathy. I 100% do not want your sympathy. I cringe at sympathy when it comes to me. I don't need it. I don't want it. Give it to me straight. Tell me what I need to do and move on. So I'm not asking for sympathy in this moment. I am just sharing what I would have needed if I was breaking, what I needed when I was started breaking generational curses. And that is the honesty and the sheer openness of, this is where I'm struggling. This is not easy, but this is something you're called to do, and that's what you need to do. And it's going to be hard. There's going to be times when you break down and crying. There are going to be times where you don't want to do this. There are times that you want to do this, that, and the third, and you just simply can't. And so that's where I've been. Honestly, I will be back. I have my next video ideas. I haven't filmed them yet, but they're coming. I am just trying to keep my head above water at this point. I'm not fully out of my depressive state. I'm just to the point where I'm opening up with my friends, like, hey, this is what I was struggling with. My friends are like, and you didn't call me? No, I didn't, because I don't do that. I don't call out to people. That's just not how I've done things in the past. And I'm not saying that's okay. 100% not saying that that's okay. That's just how I've dealt with things, and I need to work on that. Reaching out. And honestly, that first step was telling Alyssa where I was. And not that Alyssa is any more important than Renee or Paige or Diane or anyone. It's just that she called it out and I opened up about it, to be honest. To know me is to know that if I'm doing something wrong, I want to be called out about it. I want to be called out because I want to fix things. And so that's where I'm at. I will be back. I'm not sure when, to be honest. I don't know. I know what I want to film. This video series is not over. This page is not over. I am just currently on the struggle bus and trying to find outlets to aid me out of this struggle. Honestly, I nanny a lot of the time, and these babies help me a lot. And I cling to them a lot because they're just so genuine and pure. And so I will be back soon, but that is where I've been. That is what I'm going through. Yeah. Shout out to this sign. This sign says, grow through what you go through. And right now, I'm growing. And it hurts. I've got some growing pains. I will be back. I just honestly am taking a moment to get myself together. So I can speak about the things that I struggle with. So I can speak about the curses that I want to break. And this, that, and the third. So remember, go break those curses. No, it's not easy. No, it's not going to be all peaches and cream. And I'm going to share with you the real. And this is the real. I'm struggling. My head's above water now. I love y'all. I'll be back soon. My next series is on my weight loss, because I've lost a lot of weight if you watch some of my videos. Yeah. Remember, go break those curses and have a happy day. And remember, go break that curse.